Hello, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today, we're going to talk about the Yule Goat and the different ways this little bit of Yuletide lore is still alive and well in Scandinavian culture today. But first, if you're new here, I'd love it if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. Normally, I upload twice a week at minimum, every Tuesday and Thursday, with bonus uploads some weeks. But this month, I am uploading every single day up to and including Christmas. After that, my channel will be on break over New Year's. Officially, my channel is set to return on Thursday, January 9th, but if I get enough extra material done ahead of time, I may have something scheduled to go live on the 2nd while I'm away. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and leave a comment down below. I love reading your comments, I appreciate the interaction on my videos, and I do reply to everyone. So, the Yule Goat. I'll acknowledge first that this is not exclusively a Scandinavian thing. There are Yule Goats in Germanic folklore as well, but I'm focusing on Scandinavian lore today, and for reference, Nordic and Scandinavian do not mean the same thing. Nordic refers to Northern European countries that are tied both culturally and geographically, including the Scandinavian countries and a couple others. Scandinavian countries are very closely tied culturally and linguistically. The Scandinavian countries, in alphabetical order, so I don't appear to be favoring anybody, are Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Just those guys. Technically, this also includes their territories, such as Greenland for Denmark, but we'll leave that debate alone today. Nordic countries also includes continental neighbor Finland and island nation Iceland. The inclusion of goats in Yuletide dates back to pagan celebrations. The Norse god Thor, and yes, I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Marvel franchise has it wrong, fight me. Anyway, Thor rides a chariot pulled by a pair of goats named Tanngrisnir and Tanngnjóstr. Say those names 5 times fast. An alternate theory for the origin of the Yule Goat as a Christmas symbol is that the last sheaf of wheat from the harvest was thought to possess magical properties and would have been saved for use at Yuletide. In Proto-Slavic times, the god of the harvest, Devak, was usually represented by a white goat. So this magical last sheaf of grain saved for Yule would be called Julbocken, which means Yule Goat. In Sweden in particular, the Yule Goat is the spirit of Christmas, who appears ahead of the holiday to ensure that proper Yuletide preparations are being made. It's common to make straw representations of the Yule Goat, and a fun prank to play on your family and neighbors is to hide one of these straw goats while visiting, leaving them to find it and then get rid of it by passing it on in the same way. In the 19th century, in all Scandinavian countries, the role of the Yule Goat in Christmas lore shifted from prankster to gift bringer. So yes, before the modern Santa Claus type figures started delivering Christmas gifts in Scandinavia, a goat did his job. Julenisse, the Christmas elf, and jultomte, Father Christmas, have since replaced the man-sized goat. That isn't to say that there's no Yule Goat anymore, however. Goat-shaped tree ornaments made from straw or made to resemble straw are common in all Nordic countries today. These are usually made of or appear like plain straw, similar to that magical last sheaf of grain, tied together into the shape of a goat with red ribbons. Starting in the 1960s in the city of Gävle, Sweden, and spreading out to other Scandinavian cities and towns since then, people have been constructing large versions of the straw and ribbon Yule Goat in public places. These giant goats are built over the course of 2 days at the beginning of Advent. The Gävle Goat in particular is famous for being destroyed by arsonists or otherwise damaged beyond repair a whopping 37 times to date since it was first erected during Advent of 1966. Such a high number might lead you to believe that this is part of the tradition, but it's actually a crime, and if you're caught and sentenced, you can face 3 months in prison. So think hard before you light that match. Actually, if you want a good laugh, pull up the Wikipedia article on the Gävle Goat. There's a chart of each year's goat, whether or not it survived, and if not, when and how it was destroyed. The entire block of years from 1971 to 1978 just has a question mark on the when. followed by 1979, which was constructed and destroyed twice. The first was burned before it was completed, and the second was broken in half not long after. The date of destruction column for that year just reads, prior to assembly. Good job, guys, good job. The last Gävle Goat to be destroyed was 2016, and at the time of recording this voiceover, the 2019 goat is still standing. And for those wondering, it's meant to be disassembled in the new year, typically on or shortly after January 2nd. Harkening back to the prank Yule Goats, there is a tradition in Scandinavian countries called julebukking, similar to mummering. I'll be talking about mummering in another video later this month because that tradition is still alive here in Newfoundland, but today we're talking about the Scandinavian version. Julebukkers are people going door to door around their neighborhood during Christmas time, typically in the days between Christmas and New Year's, dressed in masks and costumes. They might sing Christmas songs as they go, and they might have a goat, real or otherwise, with them. When they knock on doors, the residents of the home they knock at have to guess who they are, and it's customary to offer candy or something to drink to the Julebukkers. In some areas, it's also customary for someone from the visited house to dress up and join the Julebukkers onto the next house. Julebukking is thought to have originated in Norway, which happens to be the country roughly half of my ancestry comes from. Interestingly, although the tradition is fading out in Europe, there are some heavily Scandinavian-influenced areas in North America that keep the tradition alive, including Petersburg and Ketchikan, Alaska. Tell me in the comments down below if you knew about any of these goat-related traditions already. I'd especially love to hear from anyone who still practices julebukking or mummering. Tomorrow I'm straying back into fan art as we talk about another of my favorite Christmas films, and then we'll round out the week with some more folklore and Christmas symbolism topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.